Hi, hello everyone, my name is Mr. Fruit and welcome back to our channel. And in today's video, another life update sort of video where I sit down, talk with you guys in an effort to adhere to some of the things I wanted to accomplish for this channel, some of the definitions of success for myself. In the last video we talked about it, the one where I said, I'm quitting YouTube. And the whole idea was, I'm not quitting YouTube, but I'm trying to stop enslaving myself to the algorithm because it's not doing anything good for me. One of those measurements of success I wanted to do was to be, and continue to be, honest with you guys, open, share, do videos like this from time to time. So that's what this is. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Feel free to put this in the background or whatever. All you're going to see is my face. I don't know if maybe that's enough for you. Maybe it's not. I don't know. If it is, I'm flattered. I am. Well, let's get into it. I've wrote down a rough list of what we're going to try to get to. I'm sure probably won't get to it all. Probably get to some stuff I didn't mean to. And I'll forget some things. But this is more you and me. Mano y mano. It's supposed to be a little more intimate, less high energy. This is more... It's weird to even say my name. This is more Christian. That feels so weird. Than Mr. Fruit. So where to begin? We got a couple things on the docket. First up, I want to say that we'll touch on some things in this video, and then I'm curious if for maybe some of these videos moving forward, however frequent they may or may not be, if in the comment section here or in future videos, or you want to tweet me or whatever, post on the Reddit, if maybe there's a certain topic you'd like me to touch on or address about anything, really, any questions you have, maybe then I can take those and what is my computer doing? And throw them into the next one. For instance, today, one of the things is going to be sponsors. Just wanted to touch on that real quick, which I'd seen a couple comments here and there, and I don't know. I feel like I've mentioned it on the channel, but who knows at this point. You'll see sponsors on the channel from time to time. Most of them are, little segments thrown in videos. Some of them are full videos. We actually have one coming up in a couple days. Really fun game. The best part too is whenever I take sponsors, I try to take sponsors that, especially like for games I would have played anyway, or I would have seen myself doing had I not heard about it and worked with them. And the video upcoming you'll see here in the next day or two is very much one of those games. A lot of fun. That's aside from the point. Whether it be dedicated videos or integrations, they are paramount to my ability to continue to do content, which I don't think some people realize. Ad revenue for me has definitely fallen a bit, and with everything else on the channel and all the things, certainly not where it used to be. And sponsors are what keep me afloat now. Like, they're more reliable than ad revenue and stuff. To put it in perspective, 2-3 sponsors in a month is the same amount I would get for posting every day for a month on the channel. They're very helpful, so I know might be a little bit of an annoyance or just a disturbance in a video for you. And you're like, just know it's helping me a lot. So if you're ever interested, always appreciate it when you click or do whatever. But also, you have no obligations. You can just click the screen or whatever you have to do. Click the video and skip it. I'm not offended. Otherwise, like some of the videos, if it's ever a dedicated video, I implore you to give it a chance, because I think they always turn out really well anyhow. And I especially try to make those more interesting because I know from the get-go people will already be a little, they'll have some predispositions or preconceptions about what the video may or may not be, because they're like, oh, this is sponsored. It's going to be a good video, okay? Trust me. Just watch the video. So, didn't really mean to spend that much time on it, but like one of those, maybe somebody asks like, hey, are sponsors good for you? And then, I would answer just like that. Sponsors are very nice. And if you see more, that's a good thing, because it means people are wanting to work with me. And it helps keep all the stuff going. So, appreciate the support there either way. Totally understand, though, if you just click or whatever you're going to do. Doesn't matter to me. Moving forward, speaking more on YouTube stuff, if you didn't see it, I launched a new YouTube channel. Oh, Mr. Fruit. I know. But first off, I know some people are like, wait, what? What? I've gotten comments on the channel. Why am I I didn't know I was subbed to this channel. When did this exist? I'm not complaining. It's because it rose from the ashes of Mr. Fruit Minecraft. Pour one out. But yeah, so I just, did a little makeover and overhauled that channel to be Mr. Fruit Uncut, which, if you see the channel, it's punny. That was the idea, because it's like a VOD channel, sort of. And so, unedited, uncut, and then the logo's the Mr. Fruit logo, but like a whole watermelon instead of this. You get it. Anyway, launched that channel about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, something like that. And the idea with that channel, I know I've seen some questions, and I haven't properly announced it here either, so I thought I would go into that, and then a little bit more about YouTube stuff. Mr. Fruit Uncut is there to serve as a place for those of you looking for longer form content, series, that sort of stuff. Because I know some people prefer the edited content. Or some people just prefer the unedited longer content. Or sometimes somebody watches an edited video and was like, ooh, that was interesting. I'd love to see more of this from you. Well, then, with some videos, you can go over and watch the whole thing. Because, for instance, the Diablo 4 video I posted about a week ago, whatever it was, here on this channel, was like 18, 19, 20 minutes, I don't know, of me playing Diablo 4, some highlights. It was fun. I think it was a good video. However, if you watched it, it's like, man, I'd love to see Mr. Fruit play more Diablo 4. Well, right after that video, I posted on the Uncut channel the full unedited gameplay session of Diablo 4, which was about 3 hours. So some of it will still be repeat of what you saw in the edited content, obviously. But part of it is, if you enjoyed that, well, now you get to see the, 2 hours and 40 minutes that didn't make it into the video. My dog was barking. That's the idea with the content there. We have longer form unedited content you'll see on the main channel, as well as exclusive content you wouldn't see here because maybe it doesn't really belong here. So we've been doing a series, The Last Spell. I uploaded episode 1 about a week ago here, and it was more of a throwback to older content I used to do on some indie games, like long form, no edits, just me playing the game, vibing. And so we continued that series. So that series and that playthrough on that map, for instance, is either about to or go. Actually, the day this is getting posted, I think the last episode is going to get posted in an hour, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. But been doing that whole Let's Play over there, episode 2 forward. So it was content that I don't really feel like fits on the main channel because it's just so drastically different from the other content. One thing here or there might be nice, but I can post it over there, not worrying about how it's going to interact with the other things. And it's just me vibing playing something I like. Especially, it's mainly going to be like indie games. We uploaded a video there yesterday on another exclusive game that probably won't be made into a video here. Because again, perhaps the game usually doesn't lend itself to the kind of content I typically do. I didn't really know how to make it into a more edited video. And it was a roguelike deck builder that I had a lot of fun with. You can go check that out. So that's what you can expect from Mr. Fruit Uncut. Longer form content of videos you see here. That won't be the case for every video. For instance, the code names we recently uploaded. There's no point in really uploading the VODs of that because you're not really missing anything. Most of the edits done on code names is either like dead space or just like long pauses, thinking. Like you wouldn't really get anything out of the unedited version. But with some of the stuff, when a gameplay session could be anywhere from 1 to 3 hours and then you get like a 15-minute video out of it, maybe there is something there that I think you guys can watch and explore further if that's something you are interested in. You can always look out for that and some exclusive content that won't go anywhere else. Probably a lot of like indie/roguelike games and or let's plays of said games. Throw them over there because that's, my guilty little pleasure. And if when playing those games or thinking about it, I'll always see if I can turn it into some sort of main channel format. But that's what you can expect over there. Upload cadence is supply demand. If there is something to upload, I'll upload it. If not, I'm not gonna break my back to get like an upload there every day or whatever. Currently, we have a whole bunch of stuff, so pretty consistent uploads, but could go a couple days. Who really knows? Not setting anything in stone. Well, that's Mr. Fruit Uncut. Highly check it out. If that does sound like something that interests you, you can throw it on the background if you want. I know people enjoy long form for several different reasons. So check that out. And that also brings me to talking about the rest of the Mr. Fruit channels, because now it's like, okay, well, we got a couple. What's going on here? And I know I got a couple, so I want to break it down and make it a little more digestible, less confusing. So we essentially have 4 channels, not including the podcast channel, GG Over Easy. That's separate. We have this channel, Mr. Fruit, the main channel, where again, I kind of talked about this before with the January update video. Highly edited content for the most part. A variety, but not every game under the sun. Some just wouldn't lend themselves quite as well. You know, like uploading TFT randomly. I did like a one-off a while ago, and that's fair, but it wouldn't be something just because it's so wildly different from what most people know, and like to understand what you're watching, you blah blah blah. Same thing sort of with like some roguelikes, like some deck builders. It's a little bit slower, less ways to infuse my personality in a way that would make it interesting in an edited video, but might work, you know, for like an uncut video. But so not quite everything under the sun, but for the most part, variety. I'm still actually trying to figure out where I want to take the channel. I'm like back and forth every day on what I want content to look like, on what kind of content. And I'm just kind of torn because I sit in this weird space too of like covering AAA games and some niche AAA games. And when I say niche, I mean like Destiny. I mean, that's not very niche. It is genre-wise, because what other live service looter shooters do we have? Yeah, exactly. I mean, like sort of like Warframe, right? But like not a lot of crossover there, and like it's just still sort of an unexplored genre because those that have tried have pretty much failed and are like, wait, this is hard. Hold up, you know, I'm just Anthem. So we have all that, and so many of the people that play that game just play that game and are interested in that game. But then I have all these people who enjoy like indie games or party games. So like not a lot of crossbreeding between the viewers. I got my core group probably watching this video. Hey, shout out to the homies. Appreciate you guys. You guys are just here for the channel and my friends and myself. I'm like, hey, whatever. Appreciate you. Love you. So that's going to be the main channel. Playing around with, again, what content will look like. If you watched a lot of the videos in January, early February too, different little editing style. I was doing like some standing up mic green screen stuff. I want to re-implement that, but what I'm trying to find is a balance to make it more manageable. I guess is the best way to put it, but I really enjoyed those videos and they were fun to make, but the amount of time they were making wasn't sustainable to continue it like daily or every other day. So I'm trying to figure out a way where I can kind of move towards a little bit more of that, but keeping it sustainable to where, you know, I don't burn out or can actually keep it up on a regular cadence. So anywho, on to more Mr. Fruit. Kind of talked about this again before, but Pokemon Let's Plays, Pokemon adjacent content, like Temtem and whatnot, pretty much any other like monster taming RPGs or whatever. And then probably going to do some sort of Let's Plays. But which Let's Plays, I'm still trying to figure out, because Mr. Fruit Uncut, for instance, has like the Last Spell Let's Play right now. So it might be some more niche / indie game Let's Plays on Mr. Fruit Uncut, and then keeping AAA, if I do it, you know, like I did God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, and then maybe some more popular games, you know, like we did Cult of the Lamb. I want to do a Hollow Knight Let's Play here soon. That would probably go on more Mr. Fruit. I'm still trying to figure out where I want to put the Let's Plays. But at the very least, like Pokemon Let's Plays / Nuzlocke, all that stuff will be on more Mr. Fruit. Mr. Fruit Plays is still sticking to more MOBA adjacent content, League of Legends. There's been some difficulties with the upload cadence over there, trying to find somebody to help with like some editing, working on what that looks like and how we can make that more manageable. Currently working on that, so the uploads there are not as consistent as I want them to be. Ideally, we get to a place where there's like once a week, at the very least. I'm getting there. Apologies on the delay there, but been having a lot of fun with like that League of Legends content, and it'll also just be Riot content. I don't know if I'll put like TFT, but like the MMO Cope, when that comes out in 7 years, the Riot fighting game, I don't know, the League of Legends fighting game. That's that channel. Already explained Mr. Fruit Uncut. But that's the idea in a nutshell. I know I have way too many channels and it's all kind of confusing, but hopefully that sort of condenses it. I like to try and, you know, makes my brain happy. I don't want to throw everything on one channel. I want it to be more like, well, this is here, and this, like, compartmentalize it a little bit, even though, you know, like the main channel, that compartment is still so wide. It's just like, wow, I don't know, a lot of variety. I'll get there. Maybe I won't. Who really knows? Moving forward, last couple things. My mental state. Like I said, always want to be open with you guys. Check in with you guys, too. I hope you're doing well. Check in on yourselves, kings and queens. Introspection. Take a second to just be like, hey, how am I? What am I feeling? Why am I feeling? And be kind to yourself. I struggle with that. We need to be kinder to ourselves. And that goes for literally everybody. I can guarantee you everybody can be kinder to themselves. So remember to do that. My mental state has been a little boom. For a while, actually. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I think I talked about it a little bit before. But yeah, it's pretty much been go since early October. And was planning to pump the brakes into December. And that didn't and then things kept happening. And then January. And then I tried to take a vacation in January to reset. Didn't really happen. Things came up. I didn't really get that recharge I needed. And then it's been go again. So I'm actually taking, well, the day this is up, I'm gone. And I'll be gone for like 3 days. Not really going anywhere. Not like flying somewhere or anything. But I'm just removing myself from my environment, aka the office. And just stepping away from everything for just a couple days. Just to try and reset. Do nothing. I need it. Hopefully that'll help recharge me. Get me back to 100. Probably not quite 100. It's just not enough time. But just hitting a little reset button. Quick little restart. I need that. Because again, it just burnt out. I'm tired. Physically, I've been fatigued. Even though, you know, I went to my doctors to see about hyperthyroidism. And like I do have it, but also I don't, in which like levels are pretty normal, but there's something there, but they can't give medicine for it or something, even though I show all the symptoms, like lethargic, like beyond belief, like with the meds I'm taking as well. I should be jumping off the walls, right? Or like something close to that, but I'm not. You know, I probably fall asleep at like noon, even after I get 8-9 hours of sleep or whatever, well rested. Which also means I haven't been consistent in the gym for almost 6 months now, which is like the longest stint I've had in a while. When I say that, I mean weights. I've been doing cardio every day, which is funny because everybody I've seen recently, IRL, that I haven't seen in a good bit, the first thing they say is like, wow, you've lost a lot of weight. And I have a good bit, I would say. Because the problem is, I haven't been doing weights, but I've been doing cardio pretty much every day. Anywhere from like an hour to 2 hours. And so I've definitely been leaning down, but I've also been losing muscle mass. Like I haven't been this small in a while. It kind of feels deflating. And the disconnect is like mentally, it's not that I don't have the drive or the, you know, motivation. I just physically am exhausted. So you're like, well, how do you do cardio? I do low steady state aerobics, which is just like, for me, pretty much a brisk walking pace on the elliptical. Do that for an hour or two just to get moving, burn some calories, let my body move, let my mind wander for a little bit. Better than nothing. I've wanted to do weights, and I'll get like a workout here or there, and it just doesn't happen. I actually got one yesterday for the first time in like 3 weeks. And the reason I bring that up is if I'm not able to do that, my mental always takes a hit. Because that's the greatest benefactor for my mental health, is always the gym, weights. Cardio does help, but not to the same extent. Like I need both. And so not being able to do that is also unfortunate. And what I'm hoping is this little break, even just a little bit, might help, you know, recharge even just my body. Because like physically, I have other things going on, like actual health issues. But I also know with how much I've been wearing myself thin for 5 to 6 months now, yeah, my body's tired. Like, I'm trying to jump the car. I'm trying to, you know, start the ignition. But there's nothing in the tank. And I've been doing that now. You know, my tank's been empty for like 3 months now. So I'm on fumes, so it makes sense. I hope I can get back to a place where I'm able to do that, because I know that will immediately be a mental boon. Not to mention, spring is almost here. I mean, sure, it's like 20 degrees out right now at the end of March, snowing, Colorado. But hopefully, you know, into April, beginning of May, when it really starts to get sunnier and warmer here, less up, because seasonal depression on top of normal depression is omega depression. And I get big seasonal depression. I need my sun. I need warmth. So I know that will help a whole bunch. Looking forward to that. But all in all, mentally, it's been rough. Which is also why I've also been like in between stuff with the channels and things, because what it depends. Very like one day I'm really motivated and I want to do it, but then literally like my mental energy and physical energy just like the next day we hit a wall. I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool. We can't do that. So again, I'm hoping these couple days help. And when I come back again, I've gotten out of it, but I need to get back to taking a day or two off here or there in a week, because I don't. And that would help. Because I had a good schedule going for a little bit, like I'd mentioned in the previous one, but then I left for vacation, came back, things went awry, and so I came back and things were out of you know, all in the tiff. So then the schedule got messed up, and there was a whole bunch of catch up, and then as soon as I feel like I would, like something keeps, you know, c'est la vie, but hopefully I can get back to something like that. Well, I don't want to touch on this too much right now, because it's still a little far out, and we'll see where it goes. But I have gotten an update on my jaw. The skinny of it, finally saw an oral surgeon. Worse than they thought. I'm going to be getting a bilateral surgery on both my jaw joints. It was supposed to be mid-April or mid-May. Of course, insurance took so long that right now it's probably going to be August. Right? It's actually the day of my wife and I's anniversary. Wasn't an anniversary yet. And recovery on that is going to be a little rough. It's going to be about 1 to 2 weeks of pure solid or pure liquid diet. I won't be able to talk for at least a week. Then I go in for post-op, and then we'll judge to see where I'm at. But it might take up to 2 weeks. So realistically, I'm at the very least going to be out of commission for 2 weeks. I can't talk. Well, so hopefully I can at least plan forward a little bit and get a couple videos up in time. I don't know if I'm going to be able to 2 weeks, right? But for 4 weeks after surgery, not going to be able to work out at all, which that's probably what I'm worried about the most, because like even right now, like I told you, I'm not hitting the weights, but at least I'm getting cardio. Not being able to do that for a month, my mental's going to take a hit no matter what. I know, so I'm not looking forward to it. I'll be able to do like walks after like 3-ish weeks. and then back to eating normal food, probably like 5 weeks after. So that's what I have to look forward to for the first surgery, which at first I was like a little more worried about it, but it seems way more doable, and I'll explain why that is. After that surgery, check to see how everything went. If it seemed like it went well, we're going to get me to an orthodontic. We're going to do braces, even though I already did braces in high school. But because of my splint, the whole idea of it has grooves, and it puts my jaw in a certain bite position where it's not upset. Like, this is the only place where my jaw can sit that it doesn't lock up in pain, all that stuff. But unfortunately, that's messed up my bite and everything, because it's not a natural bite and it's not a realistic bite, and it's a bad bite, but that's just where my jaw needs to sit right now. So we have to fix that, realign all the teeth, center it and everything. But the problem is, once we do that, what's going to stop my jaw from being pissed again? Because this bilateral surgery I'm getting is more like a temporary fix. Like, we're going to put some things back, some stitches, do this, blah, blah, blah. But it's not tackling the root of the issue, which appears to be my bite, to an even larger degree, which is what I'd found out when I went to go see the oral surgeon. And so this is where I learned about the next step of fixing this, which I was not anticipating. After I get braces, fix the teeth, the idea is this first surgery will keep my jaw happy enough to fix the teeth and line them up. Then it's another surgery. I don't know the name of it. My dad told me, I can't remember. But because of my crossbite, they're going to break my upper jaw. They're going to then widen the jaw, push it forward. And he said they're hoping they don't have to do the same for my bottom jaw. I'm praying to the Lord above it doesn't have to be both, because if it's both, recovery is going to be even worse. But with one jaw being broken like that, I will be getting my mouth wired shut for, I think, at least 2 months. I'm not looking forward to that. Which means 2 months of liquid only. I don't know how long, but I think for most of that, I can't do physical exertion or exercise. Won't be able to talk for at least the first couple, probably 2-3 weeks or something like that for the most part. But the problem is, I'd be talking like this, and as much as I think you guys want to like listen to this for videos, this might not be so great. I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but I'm going to be talking with my mouth shut, you know? So I won't really be able to make videos because I don't want to subject anybody to that. So we're at the very least 2 months. It could be longer, depends on how I recover. And then after that, and so I'm not looking forward to that one. Not to mention the fact that, you know, my dad clued me in, even though I didn't want to hear this. Thanks, Dad. Could have waited until surgery. I have this thing. My mom and I have this thing about just our mouths being shut. I don't know why this sounds weird. Like, my mom and I both have this phobia. We never even shared it. It's weird. Or like, we were always scared if we got kidnapped, because if our mouths got duct taped, we wouldn't be able to breathe, because both her and I have pretty poor nasal passages and breathing through our noses. It was always a worry. I have this whole mouth thing. Well, now I know my mouth's going to be wired shut. Now, again, I can breathe, you know, all that kind of stuff. But something I didn't think about was they bring you home with wire cutters, as I learned. Because, as my dad pointed out, let's say I have to throw up. Maybe I'm sick. Maybe whatever. And I have to throw up. I have to physically go in and cut my own wires to open up my mouth. Otherwise, I'll choke on my vomit and die. Thanks, Dad. Really? So if my anxiety wasn't bad enough, I'm trying not to think about it because there's nothing I can do about it, right? There's nothing I can do right now to change that. So I'm trying not to put my energy towards that. Looking towards the first surgery, which, after hearing everything I'm going to have to do for the next one, suddenly the first one don't seem so bad. So hopefully we can get the surgery sooner than August. but it also puts a big question mark on like Fruit Summit, for instance. Well, depending on where that lines up, and then needing to prepare and then post, that's a big thing. And then once these braces, like when's the next surgery out? We don't have a timeline. It's all very vague. So it wasn't the best news. Didn't really help my mental. But you know, I'm on the road to recovery. This is where it starts, and I'm hoping once all that's over, I can just live again normally and not have to think about my jaw every single day. Every time I take a bite, every time I sneeze, having to like forcefully stop myself from opening my mouth. Like, I'm over it. Take care of your jaw. Let me tell you, you just don't realize until it sucks that how much your jaw is important. So anyway, I rambled on a little bit more than that on that matter than I wanted to, but I think that brings this little update to a close. Probably rambled on as a whole longer than I intended to, but let me know if you guys do find these insightful or meaningful in any sorts of way, enjoyable, entertaining. I don't know. Hopefully you get something out of it. And if you do, again, feel free to let me know, as well as maybe some other things you might want to hear about in a month or two, or whenever I do another one of these. Let me know how you're doing. And feel free to go into the comments and talk with some others. See if somebody else is maybe struggling with something you're struggling with. Because you're never alone. Just remember that. Be kind to yourselves. Thank you very much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Farewell.